On the hills behind me, famous town, oh little town of Bethlehem. No longer little, and no longer still because of the tensions in the land of Israel. Bethlehem is mentioned throughout the Old Testament and of course the New, but we go way back to the Rachel died on the road to Bethlehem. In fact, you could visit her tomb on the road behind me over there somewhere. She died in childbirth, giving birth to Benjamin. And of course, Jacob and Rachel had 12 sons, and they became the 12 tribes of Israel. And then if we continue on down through biblical history, Naomi was from here, and she and her husband and their 2 sons went to the land of Moab, and the 2 sons married Moabite wives. But lo and behold, in the tragedy of that story, Naomi lost her husband and the 2 wives lost their husbands. Well, Ruth was one of those wives, and remember the story. She said to Naomi, I'll go back to Bethlehem with you. Your people will be my people, your God, my God. So she was faithful to her mother-in-law. Amazing story. Well, in Bethlehem, there was a wealthy landowner named Boaz, and through circumstances you can read about in the scriptures, Ruth caught Boaz's eye, and they were married. And they had a son named Obed, and Obed had a son named Jesse, and Jesse had many sons. But among them was one named David, the youngest one. You might even say he was the runt of the litter, because when Samuel the prophet came to Bethlehem in search of a new king, to replace King Saul, who had fallen down in God's eyes, Jesse paraded all of his sons except one before Samuel. And Samuel said, God hasn't chosen any of them. Is that all you have? He said, well, there's one more, but he's out in the field looking after the flocks. He said, well, you better bring him because I need to see him. Young David came in, he had a ruddy reflection. And when he came in, Samuel knew immediately, this boy, this shepherd boy, is the new king of Israel. And so King David ruled. And then Solomon, and then down through their generations, until one night, we call it Christmas, the angels of the heavenly host sang over these fields and over this town, because a new king had been born in Bethlehem, exactly as the prophets foretold. And his name was Jesus of Nazareth. Nazareth because that's where he would be raised, but his birth right here, according to the prophet Micah in chapter 5, fulfilling the prophecies. And of course Isaiah 9, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder. And then those names that he has, Everlasting Father, and of course Prince of Peace. All here, all in Bethlehem.